Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen Brown, and I'm a spiritual empowerment author, healer, and mentor. This episode was inspired by having coffee with a friend who was really struggling with anxiety, and this person's been struggling for probably the last year. And if those of you don't know yet, that anxiety is really rooted in fear. It's rooted in fear of the future, or ruminating of the future, or what if about the future. And that can cause a lot of fear inside of us. And then that fear inside of us can cause us to shrink, stay small, to isolate, to never grow, to don't evolve. It can just stop us from doing all the amazing, wonderful things in life. So having this conversation with this friend was when this came up for me. And I thought, this is probably going to be a good episode because it might really kind of awaken something inside you all. First off, I want you to know that I'm not encouraging you to say the F word. If that's not something you like, you don't need to say it. I wanted to share with you what works for me. Now, on the healing journey and as a coach, I don't tell people what to do. I help people find what works for them. But I also do that by sharing what works for me so that you can fill in the spaces in your own life and figure out what it is for you. So what I'm hoping to get across in this episode is that you're going to understand why I do this, because there's something really powerful about it. Now, going back 2-3 years or so, my eldest daughter had invited me to go on Instagram. She kept saying, "You got to be on there, Mom. You got to be on there, Mom." And so we got on Instagram and I didn't really do too much on there. Well, she walked in my house one day and she saw that I had just, the regular letter size paper, and I had these sayings typed, all different type of sayings typed out on them. And they were posted all throughout my house. They were posted in the kitchen, in my office, and on doors, on windows. They were posted at the foot of my bed. I had these notes everywhere. And all these notes started with the word "F it," but written out. F it. And then I would have some statement of some fear or some false belief that I was trying to break through. Now, for me, the reason why I do this is because it gives me that fierceness. It makes me feel stronger. And many times when we're trying to break through fears, we're trying to break through fears from the same mind, the same energetic level of vibration that the fears were created. And guess what? That's just a wash. Nothing is going to happen at that point. And what is this journey here on earth all about? It's all about breaking through fears and limiting beliefs, because we are human beings. And guess what, y'all? We are designed to be afraid. Everybody's afraid. You may not know it. They may not act like it, but I promise you deep inside, they're afraid unless they are completely 100% enlightened person, or they've had some type of near-death experience or something that made them understand life on a different level. But for the most part, I would say 99.999% of humanity is afraid. And we can be afraid of anything from being homeless, to our partner cheating on us, to losing a limb, to not making the money we want to make. The list goes on and on. Like, sky is the limit, and everybody's fear is unique to them. So first, understanding that we're all afraid, all of us. I'm afraid. I have things still that creep up in my life where I'm like, sometimes I'm falling asleep and something will come in. And I'm like, I can feel my heart start to beat. I'm like, oh, no, we're not doing that. A lot of my fears showed up when I started to become a coach and influencer, because I had to be more public, and that was super flippin' scary to me. And I remember the first time that I was going to send a blog, hit that post, hit that send button. I was scared to death. My website was brand new. I made it myself, probably didn't have any SEO on it. And here I was so afraid that 8 billion people were going to see this blog. And I had to sit on that blog because I was going to be seen. And this was super scary to me. So I had to sit there. I'm like, I can't hit send. I can't hit send. Finally, I said, F it. Just hit send. What is the worst thing that can happen? Are you going to lose a limb? Is someone going to die? Are you going to die if you hit send on this blog? And I was like, no. So I remember just going F it and hitting send. Now, I've had to do it with other things too, like sending hard texts or having difficult conversations. And later, when I made my podcast, I remember my first episode was 7 little sweet minutes long. It had a lot of edits in it because I was so afraid, again, of sharing my voice, of being seen for lots of reasons in my past. And I had to say F it again. F it, post, F it, upload, F it, F it, F it, F it, F it. I mean, when I tell you that I've used this word to give me some power behind me, it has worked. Now, am I inviting you to use this word? Absolutely not. You get to be your own authority. I'm just here to share things that worked for me. But what I hope you get from this is the feeling, the energy that I'm trying to portray, that I'm afraid too. And everybody I know is afraid in some capacity. And find a way to break through that fear. As human beings, we are designed to be afraid. We are literally wired that way in our brain. It is how we survive. But we have a choice. Do we function from that fearful lower self, or are we going to function from that faithful higher self? And sometimes we just have to say, F it, and do the thing. What I'm talking about is advancements in ourselves, taking those steps, doing those things that are hard, doing those things that are scary, having the courage inside to step forward and do those things. Take whatever technique that you need, fill in the blank here. What do you need? What inspires you? What prompts you? What makes you have a little fierceness? Now, we all have inner spiritual warriors. We are actually designed that way. We have inner spiritual warriors. But for some of us, those spiritual warriors are asleep and they're all cuddled up with a blankie and they're really safe within their house and they got the fire on and the door is locked and they're just sitting there. But that warrior has no idea how flippin' powerful it is. All that warrior needs to do is to wake up and to find that inner zest, that inner authority, that inner, I don't give an F what happens. In fact, saying that right now, this is the mug that you saw on my thumbnail. And this mug came from my friend Andy Dooley, who's an awesome, amazing manifesting coach in the world. And I had helped Andy with something. He goes, I want to send you one of my mugs. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you. He said, which one do you want? Naturally, give 0 Fs. Why? Because this is something that resonates with me. I have to work on giving 0 Fs. I have to work on if a hater says something in a comment that I don't care. I have to say, F it, send this anyway. Some of the things I talk about on here are a little controversial. They go a little bit up against the grain of the narrative that's out in the world right now. Okay. I'm saying things that people like, oh, because they haven't heard that before, because they're stuck in this pattern of what everybody is saying. And I'm like, okay, this might ruffle some feathers. This might rock some boats, but I have to send it anyway. I have to give 0 Fs and send it anyway, because it's true to me. It is from capital T universal truth that I want to share with other people. And I know that the right people are going to get the message. And sometimes the wrong people are too. And now this might show up for me in this type of platform, but it could show up with you for dating, career advancement, writing that book, going on stage. What does it take for you within? What is going to wake you up and say, you know what, F it, I'm going to do this thing. Now, I'll tell you after the conversation with my friend, which sometimes for me, those type of conversations where I really got to pack a little punch to somebody and say, here's the deal. Like, this is the black and white. Like, here's the hard truth. Those sometimes can be scary for me because sometimes people don't take that. But this person actually gave me the biggest, warmest hug afterwards and said, thank you. I really needed Kristen Brown in my life today. Thank you for being that warrior for me. Thank you for being that person who is willing to call me out and to help me to see the light. So that is what I hope this energy is bringing to you today. Now, what you do with it is up to you, because as human beings, we have this beautiful thing and it's called choice. We get to make the choice what we do in life. It's all up to us. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's going to change our life for us. As much as I wish that they would have, as much as I wish that that magic person would come in and wave the little magic wand or give me the right crystal or do a little moon dance or something that was going to make my life work out. We're here for a reason, and we're here on our own spiritual journey, and it is up to us to shift us out of fear into faith, out of stagnation into movement, out of dormancy and into growth. You have everything you need to grasp the best possible life that you could ever imagine, but you have the choice whether you want to do so or not. So for those of you who are interested, you can learn about so much of my journey in my book, The Recovering People Pleaser, which was just published in April of 2023. And it became an international bestseller in a matter of just a couple hours. I'm getting so much beautiful feedback from this book. It's called The Recovering People Pleaser, a spiritual guide to reclaim your true worth and attract the love you deserve. But it's not only the love you deserve, it is the abundance that you deserve. This book is a self-healing guide, and I go through all my stories, all the things, all the tools and techniques that I did in order to reset my foundation of unworthiness into a foundation of self-worth. And when we are functioning in life from a level of self-worth, life magically changes, because we cannot receive from the universe anything that we do not feel worthy of. If you're interested in grabbing this book, you can go right here on Amazon. It is also on 40,000 other book selling sites, and the link will be in the description below. So thank you all for listening. I hope you got something wonderful from this. And if you did, please give me a like, a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, share with someone you love, and leave me a comment below. Actually, give me the middle finger emoji. Give me the middle finger emoji if this resonated with you. If you feel like, yeah, I'm ready to F it. Okay. Give me that emoji. I would love to see it. You can do it any color, skin color you want. You can even put a heart next to it if you want. But this is what I'm here for. I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to ignite courage inside of you. I'm here to help you retrain your brain to think in a different way so that you can manifest the life of your dreams.